Hey everyone, welcome back to Taste the Hustle. I'm your host, Jorge Jr. Quick apologies for the delay on the uploads. SAD is a bit of a bitch. Working through it. You know how it is. It's part of the hustle. Got to figure out what gets you out of bed. And on that note, I want to introduce today's guest, Henry D. Hinton, otherwise known by his rapping name, Donta Black. The guy, super talented musician. He's a rapper, music producer, and music engineer. I met him, even the way I met him was like hustling, because we were both in our shadow jobs and we got to talking, and next thing I know, the guy is super talented. He's a musician, he's rapping, he's out there, he's selling tracks. My mind was blown. After finding out that he was super talented with music and he was a music producer, my creative brain just started working, and me being a filmmaker, we always need soundtrack and we need music for our films. So I started talking with him, and then he got super excited to actually have one of his tracks in a film, and it just led to a really nice collaboration. He gave me some tracks, and I had a film coming up, The Second Cup, that I was working on, and I listened to the tracks and I picked one, and I really believe that this scene it was elevated by his music. Check it out.
I'm so glad you grew a pair of balls. Let's go get drunk tonight. Come on, let's go get shit-faced.
My reflection reflecting upon my last year, thinking how I'm doing so much better than that past year. Yeah, reconstructing all my flaws, searching for a balance so a nigga can't fall. So when you look up in that mirror, give a round of applause. If you're still here, give a round of applause. Round of applause, round of applause. That's real shit. Real shit. When I look up in that mirror, I give a round of applause. Since I'm still here, I give a round of applause. Round of applause, round of applause. That's real shit. Real shit. From today, my ex-girl, she made arrangements for my replacement. I was flat out broke, only 2 pair of pants in my rotation. My mother shrunk the rest in the basement when I came out on vacation. Shit wasn't looking so well, that was an understatement. But a nigga stayed tenacious to them dead presidential cases. Now I'm rocking deep St. Laurent stunners from the winter to the summer.
Let me know what you guys thought about that scene in the comments down below. Also, if you guys are interested in seeing the full film, let me know in the comments, and I would actually make a podcast where I would feature it in the beginning and then talk to you on the process on how I made it. If you're interested in that, let me know and we'll do that. But with no further ado, I want to introduce to you the man, Henry D. Hinton, also known as Donta Black. Let's go.
Check it, no trace of bitch in me. You can check my history. It's game time, and I'm aiming for that victory. No trace of bitch in me. You can check my history. It's game time, and I'm aiming for that victory. Yeah, this music what I love to do. Told hip hop I'm in love with you. Cried to a phone call from a voice that said that I no longer have no love for you. So I'm in my mind up like an individual tied up to a time bomb trying to escape before time's up. And the beat piled up, told the piece holler. I'm chasing these dollars. A bitch see that and she give me to follow. Catapult herself at 2 minutes so absurd. I call them 2 words. Angry birds, grew up in a life of melee, blocking counters, heartbeat pacing, attacking parry, till I'm flat on my back, permanent nap inside my casket, buried, breaking niggas like AI did MJ with this assorted vocabulary. I don't sweat the competition, my self-esteem's my biggest adversary. We used to have a colorful mind, but now my decisions are colorblind, leaving you with 2 options, raise your white flag or try to stop them. And I hear them barking, but that don't mean that they gon' bite. That tough guy and I'm imaginary, they ain't never met up in their life. Tu no vas a nada. Let me translate that, man. You ain't gon' do nada.
Watch this.
I'm shifting gears on it.
Donta Black, man.
First off,
What up?
you niggas owe me an apology. Thought I was a legend like old Greek mythology. Black in the hood like poverty. In cahoots with paraphernalia that fluctuates the economy. My life is such an anomaly. Most find me threatening cause they see they can't conquer me. You'll get punked to have to cop a plea, cause I throw punches easily like Aikido techniques. I smoke an eighth while sipping on Bombay. Spit fire in the cypher, turn your hood to Pompeii. From where I was, I done came a long way. How I'm moving now, got my ops catching road rage. Stole a collectible trumpet from John Coltrane. Had him noted down the brass knuckles just to tell Carl Malone he better quit with the jazz, cause I'm with that bullshit, boy, you don't want that. I'm in the thick of this game, baby, I'm tied in. Snake niggas and bum bitches, they get the Heisman. If you owe me money, I'm counting to 10, get the hiding. The earth a small place, guaranteed I'ma find them. I got a dark humor, wait years to surprise them. The thumper in the sky shine bright like a diamond. Squeeze the trigger like somebody choking, eat the Heimlich. I bet that was over your head like a high kick. We all hood niggas, but we are not the same. I move my work and put my profits in the stock exchange. In other words, I get it in. Intelligent hustler trying to re-up off my dividends. That's roughly 20K, talking equity. Dreams are going legit, it sound heavily. I got a legal job, but the motherfuckers be stressing me. Sometimes I wanna quit, but the Lord keep blessing me.
I deliver this like I'm supposed to, giving you some on the road to. Beats thumping out the trunk of that old school. Yup, we turn it lane. Yup, turn it lane. And since Lincoln abolished slavery, civil rights paved the way from me ghetto boy to a man. Man, look what the day has made of me. Is ignorance a stimulus or just conditioned slavery? Man, I'm just trying to keep it 100.
Everybody fuck with me, cause I keep it 100. Keep it 100. Keep it 100. Keep it 100.
Welcome to my show.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be on here, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you giving me a platform to use my voice like I was telling you outside of here, man. So I'm grateful. And, hey, man, thank you for having me.
And you're a rapper, producer.
And I went to school for audio engineering. I went to IAR, Institute of Audio Research in Manhattan. They actually closed the school down now, but it's similar to a SAE. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like a 900-hour program. You know what I'm saying? It's like a full year, but it's cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
So how long you've been like really into like engineering music? Did you start like in high school, and work your way in?
That's what I think. Well, starting in high school, you're very ambitious and got the dream that, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just dived in back in high school. My little brother, he had bought a bootleg version of Reason off of eBay, and he had the DVDs with it, taught him how to make it, make the music and use the sequencers and all that inside the thing. So he taught me, and me being the older brother, I bullied him off of the computer every day and started making beats. And I ain't gonna lie, my brother is nicer than me on the piano, but I just took over. And the more I kept making music, I started posting up on a website that was very big back in the 2006 to, I want to say 2010 time period, called Rock Battle. And it was
Battle?
Yeah, it's called rockbattle.com.
Okay.
And it was created by Rockweiler, like a Grammy Award winning producer in the game. He's dope. He's one of the top out there. So he basically created a platform for producers to get on a website and battle their beats against each other, like, compete and all that. And you could compete over money. And they had a forum, so you could get advice. And I made so many beats back then. They was like, yo, you got good ideas, but this shit needs to be mixed. Yeah, so they're just like, yeah, man, you just need to get your shit together when it comes to arrangement, stereo field and all that. So I'm like, man, okay, what should I do next? And then one day I got like a brochure in the mail, or I think somebody I used to battle rap against in the lunchroom and in my school, he brought a brochure, and I took that shit, and I'm like, I'm going to New York, bro. This is it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the Mecca of hip hop, and that's where it all started, man.
Where are you originally from?
From Canton, Ohio.
Ohio.
Let me educate those out there that's about to watch this. If you don't know about Canton, Ohio, man, we are, the home of the Football Hall of Fame and, the creators of football. So go ahead and make a trip down to Canton, Ohio one time. It might look a little depressing, but just keep your ass around the Football Hall of Fame. You'll have a great time. You know what I'm saying? Foster Stadium. To add on there, McKinley High School is the school that I attended. It's the only, I think, high school that has a professional football field that they get to use to practice on. So I played football back in the day, and it was a good experience, man.
You played football? What was your position?
Well, you might have seen me post a video up earlier today on Facebook, man. I have butterfingers, so they kept me off of that offensive, you know what I'm saying, team. But I was in defense, man. You know what I'm saying? They had me in quarterback. I ended up settling in free safety, man. So yeah.
No, that's pretty cool. Like, I grew up in Manhattan, and not every school has a football team. And like that's like the one sport that I feel like in high school I would have tried out for. You would have
first team. Probably would have been somewhere in college, about to be in the NFL real quick.
Probably right now having a blown knee or something at this point.
That is a reality for a lot of people.
But the worst part was like I was interested in football when I was growing up, but I didn't know too much about it. I just watched it, and would talk with some of my friends, and they were also from like, Washington Heights, Harlem area, but the people that I hung out with, we also just like followed the sport on TV. We didn't know anybody who did it,
Yeah, most definitely.
So like it was later on when my brother wanted to do it that somebody told him that there were sports teams that weren't like affiliated with a school that he could join and play football. And I was like, I was like, what? That's a thing? Like there's a league.
Yeah, it's a league. Okay.
Yeah, it's a small league, and it's like people from the city and other places, I'm guessing.
And this was for high school students at the time.
Yeah, because my brother was in high school, but his school didn't have.
But he could still go outsourcing to that. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, and I wish I don't know how long that was around, but like I was like, this is a thing, and I was like,
dope, man.
It is. It was. Like the city folks, they find ways to get around things. So it's like, when did you start rapping? Like, what age?
I want to say shout out to my big sisters. The first rap I ever rapped, it wasn't very impressive, but it was a rap nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? My sister created for me. She used to rap, and she was in a group, and it was basically I think I was like 6 years old.
6 years old? Oh, you've been doing it for a long time.
No. I wasn't. Not from then. I mean, I spent my first rap then. But
it's like ignited kind of.
Yeah. After that, I was all beatboxing, man. From 6 years old up to about 16, I started beatboxing a lot, which I'm not that dope at, you know what I'm saying? But I like to do it.
Yeah.
But I really picked back up rapping when I was 16, man. So after I turned 16, that's when I really started to rap again. I was inspired by Cassidy and Jen the rapper, you know what I'm saying, from New York, and Freestyle Friday. Remember Jen? Yeah. Jen was a beast. Jen was a beast. Cassidy, and the way that I got, you know what I'm saying, familiar with them two is because I had heard a freestyle battle between Jen and Cassidy, and it wasn't really a freestyle. It's just how they used to word things on LimeWire and BearShare back in the day. So it said Jen versus Cassidy freestyle, but it was just, just spitting together. But man, I'm like, yo, these dudes are saying things I ain't never heard before, and I just like the word selection and how they was putting it together. And I was like, I got to do this. And I jumped in at 16, and I thought I wanted to be a battler forever. And then I realized, I'm like, okay, how am I going to up my battling skills? Well, I got to increase my vocabulary. So I started reading the dictionary, and I seen people with the rhyming dictionaries, and I'm like, that's cheating, man. I want to look in a regular dictionary, and then as I expand on my glossary, you know what I'm saying?
You put the words together. Yeah.
Myself, yeah. I feel like that's more of a authentic way of doing it. You feel me? I think it takes more skill to do it that way. I mean, but yeah, hey, some of the biggest casting use rhyme dictionaries. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say any names. People know. Most people do probably. Yeah, man. It started from there, man. So I started battling, and then I'm like, okay, well, I just started getting around other people that rap and realized I wanted to start making song, content too. So then I kind of faded from the battling and just started writing music a little bit.
Is that like the switch from battling to creating music like that? Is it a big switch mentally? Is it a big switch because it's like one, it's like kind of like in the moment, spontaneous and aggressively going forward, and the other one you have to kind of like sit and think about it and like.
I believe depending from where you start, it really, like you said, it might change your mental approaching into the next thing. Like when I started from battling, what I'm saying, I thought freestyle battles in the beginning were like supposed to be straight off the top, what I'm saying, off the top of the dome. Like everything you're saying is at that moment, what you seeing, what you capturing, and you giving that to your opponent. But then as time passed, I would see a lot of people misuse the word freestyle. And to some people, the word freestyle is just, lyrics that have never been heard before. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
when
for real?
Some people, that's a freestyle. That's definitely a definition for freestyle these days, is lyrics that have never been heard before. So it definitely, was a big game changer, understanding both sides. Well, starting from freestyling and then getting into writing. So, I try to do a blend, man. I try to do a blend because it's always good to be able to freestyle and it's good to be able to write music.
Yeah.
But which one is going to make you more money? It depends on you, because battle rap is grown in the days, and you already know this music business. So
can people like make a living on battle rap?
I think
would you
so.
say? Yeah,
I think so. It's a lot of cats. I really don't know the full mechanics on how they make they bread and stuff in there. But a lot of rappers today, like I'm gonna throw some names out, like Daylight. He made $1 million, I think, in a battle against Tay Rock, and that wasn't even the pay that he was getting paid from the battle rap. He just knew that himself as an entity and on the internet could project so many views, so he was able to sell his impressions and make money off of his views alone. So he had signed a contract with a company and that does the promoting.
So he paid advertisement space, like he rented out advertisement space knowing that battle was going to be big in his social media,
and he did his thing, man. He ate off of that, and then
so it's kind of he kind of set it up like a Super Bowl.
He did, and he put it in the rap. I advise everybody go watch that and listen to it, because he gets a little bit better in depth, and then you can just see it, man. And it's dope how he implemented that information in that game inside of his rap too, and it was like a flex. You know what I'm saying? It was real cool. But a lot of cats, some dudes, I have friends on the low level that are just starting out in Ohio and stuff. They make like 500 a battle, but the more your name gets out there and you get on bigger stages, you know what I'm saying? Because it's different arenas when it comes to coast-wise. You got a URL, Ultimate Rap League, and then you got the KOTD, you know what I'm saying, over on the West Coast, and then you got Bar for Bar and other places. And they start to pay you like $2,000 a battle, a little bit more than that, depending on how good you are and requested. You might get $10,000 a battle, you might get $20,000 a battle, and if you get 3 battles in a year, some people just take battles, only write one verse, and then you can tell the other 2 rounds they didn't freestyle it because they was only there for the bag. You know what I'm saying? So you can definitely eat in battle rap. You just got to be good.
Yeah.
Gotta be good.
Yeah, no, but I imagine it's like the percentage of people who can actually do it is very small, because it has to be, you have to win like the competitions. It's not like you can eat on your own, just showing up to places.
I mean, you kind of can, but like I said, you gotta be nice, dog. You gotta watch the battle.
Yeah. No, I'm only asking because I didn't know there were people who just did that for life. I just thought it was like people who wanted to be rappers did battle rap to get noticed, and then they would kind of bring that audience with them to their other performances with their own long songs.
I'm from that same time with you, man. I think that was more like the mindset in the 90s and the 80s.
Okay.
These 2000 kids, the millennials now, nah, that's not how they rocking. But
Oh,
yeah,
so they're more like, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna battle rap.
I'm just gonna battle rap. I'm not saying the battle rappers think like that. I think songwriters think like that. They're
Okay.
not like, songwriters don't feel they need to know how to freestyle. Some might pay homage and try to acquire that skill a little bit. But as far as battle rap, I think when it comes to battle rap, yeah, every battle rapper wants to be able to make music too. So it's like being a basketball player and being a rapper. You know, basketball players want to look like rappers. Rappers want to ball out like basketball players. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's a little mix.
Everybody just wants to party.
Everybody just want to. Everybody want that money so you can do what you want, man. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. When was the first time you got on stage? Like, and like, how did that feel? Like, when you got on stage, were you like, this is it. This is all I want to do. Like, what happened in that moment?
Well, the first time I ever got on stage, I performed Deja Vu by Jay-Z and Beyonce with my ex from high school. And we had, the crazy thing about that, man, was what I remember is we had practiced maybe like 3 months, Crazy in Love. So I got that down packed. I'm like, man, I'm about to kill this on stage real light. You know what I'm saying? I'm worried about what I'm about to be wearing that night. I'm not even worried about the rap no more. You're not even my rap. You know what I'm saying? I just memorized it. But then the last week, she's like, oh, I'm going to switch to Deja Vu. So I'm like, what? Like,
Oh, she switched the song on you?
yeah. And, you know, for me, growing up, I was never able to memorize things like that. So back in high school too, even in elementary though, all the kids be singing Busta Rhymes stuff, you know what I'm saying? And all I remember was the chorus. I could never join in the verse.
I'm the same way.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm the same way. I'll start the song. Yeah.
There we go. I'll be in the background like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I got on stage, man. Well, before I got on stage, I had memorized it for a week, but you know, you had that thought in the back of your head, like, do you memorize all this, nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? I did, but I was second guessing myself. So always believe in yourself, please. You know what I'm saying? So I get on the stage after my cue is, and I have my partner with me, and I'm wearing these big aviator sunglasses, and I step into the stage, and I already seen everybody in the crowd before I got on stage, and it was like over 100 people. And I'm like, man, it's still a good rush, even just to be performing on stage, not my music. But with them shades on, I couldn't see nobody, man. I thought I fell off the stage. I choked. Boy, it was crazy. My boy, he came up behind me, and I caught back on, you know what I'm saying? But that first night, it was kind of rough, you know what I'm saying? But it still felt good to be on stage and be able to control everything because you have everybody's attention, you know what I'm saying? So we did this for 2 nights. The second night, I killed it. You know what I'm saying? I did a good job, and it turned out good. And then from then on, I hadn't performed until I moved to New York City, and I was 19 at the time. I moved to New York when I was 19, and yeah, man, you know, I've had my good nights and bad nights. When you're on stage and you perform something good and people feeling it, it feels good, you know, instant gratification. When you choke, I don't take it like you should beat yourself up. I take it as you should, you know.
You got to learn from it.
Yeah, learn from it, and then, you know, go back to the drawing board, come back. That's it.
So when you got to New York, did you do any open mics and stuff like that, like to get some taste of it?
Yeah, definitely. New Yorican, that place down in Alphabet City, and then you got the Pyramid. The Pyramid is over there in Alphabet City too, and I didn't perform at SOBs, but I had an artist of mine perform at SOBs, and we had won a contest one time. I actually, when I moved to New York, like I said, I made a few more friends with other cats at the school IAR, and I really wanted to play the backseat, you know what I'm saying, when it came to the production and all that. So I was really making beats for a lot of people, you know, at that time. I would say from 2007 all the way up until about 2014. I was mainly making beats, but I did feature on stuff and rap too at the same time. But I put my production in the forefront. So that's what that was. That's probably why I didn't perform that much earlier.
All right. So you're more of a producer
At the time, yeah, at the time I was more.
at the time?
It was kind of hard
And
for me to juggle doing both. I wanted to do both, but then I thought, at the time I was making more money from selling beats, saying online.
where would you sell your beats? Like what venue? Like is it like an online place where you just upload your music and people can search it, and if they like it, they buy it?
Yeah, it was all over the place, and you had websites like mybeatshop.com, you had Rock Battle, givemebeats.com, and you had a plethora of beat websites. Not a plethora, maybe 10 total. I can't name all of them,
Okay.
but at the time, my boy Iento had founded, and I was in a class in high school, and we would just play beats on there, and I was just like, it was just dope to see people posting up content because I didn't know about that. So I was really posting my stuff up for feedback, but it was selling at the same time.
Oh,
And,
that's great.
Yeah, and at a terrible quality too. I wasn't even really mixing nothing, but I was making like $100. My mom was like, "What are you doing?" My mom thought I was selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Hey man, if they like it, you're doing good.
Yeah, don't say nothing. That's the key.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing.
No, like us artists, we're never finished.
Yeah,
We just have to kind of let it go.
Yeah.
Pretty much it. Like we're never finished. Like especially like anything that we're creating, we're always thinking like, just tweak it here, fix it there, and then like sometimes that's why I sometimes I talk to people like actors and other filmmakers and stuff like that, and they're like, yeah, I don't watch it. Like they don't watch their old stuff.
That's deep. I actually know somebody else in the film that don't watch stuff or don't like to watch trailers before the movie come out.
Yeah, because they did it, and they're like,
serious.
If they go watch it, they're gonna be like, like this is horrible or whatever. Like they're gonna start critiquing it, and they're not gonna see what we're seeing, because we're not seeing the flaws that they think they have. We're just seeing the performance.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think it can narrow down to that like that for audio too. You know what I'm saying? Like when you listen to a mix, like or somebody else's mix or a professional CD, and you can hear like some mistakes in the background sometimes, and be like, where y'all let that rock? You know what I'm saying? Like, but it be like that, So.
No, and like especially as you're getting started, you're learning, you're trying out new things, and it's not like quite ready.
Yeah.
That like certain things are like could be better, but you still creating something great, but you're like, I need to make this better. But the people who are like next to you, they're like, no, that's good. Yeah, I like it like that. And like sometimes you have to kind of go with them, so that you kind of can let it go and let it just grow on its own from there.
Yeah, you gotta let the moment speak. It doesn't always pay to be a perfectionist, like you're saying, because I've actually done that for a very long time. I didn't want to release things until I felt like it was right, or put a mix out until I thought it was right. And then by the time you finally have that thing ready and put out there, it's past its expiration date, maybe in your mind, to even put it out there in the first place. So you just got to put things out there while it's fresh, and especially if a person acknowledges it, or a peer of yours, just let them take it. They might see the light in it that you don't see in it, and take it to that next level. So,
have you been able to be creative, like since you're more at home?
Yes, there are. I've been very creative over the whole pandemic, and I'm grateful that I've been able to have ideas hit me. It is sometimes difficult because I am a father of two now. You know what I'm saying? So, time
congratulations again.
Thank you very much, man. Yeah, time management is serious. So I really was only able to work on my music at night after I put the kids to sleep. They wake up 5:36 in the morning. We got the whole schedule raising the kids. My wife is working from home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching the kids until she get off work. Then after that, it's really I'm trying to make sure my wife ain't killing herself and get some rest after she get off work an hour or two. But then it's dinner time, and by that time it's probably 6 o'clock. then we got a schedule. We want the kids laying down by 8 to 9, you know what I'm saying? So they're not up all night. So it's very difficult to juggle time sometimes. But yeah, I would say from like 10 o'clock till 5 in the morning, man, I be trying to stay up and work. I hate when I fall asleep at night, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, so yeah. But being creative wise, a lot of ideas and things have come to me, and I've been creating the whole time. And I have
that's good.
Yeah, I have a project coming out titled Shifting Gears. You know what I'm saying? A project with me, you know, rapping and stuff on it. And the production is all by me. And I'm also about to release a beat tape maybe in the next week or two. You know what I'm saying? And put that up on YouTube. And hopefully by me putting that up, I get some sales off of that too. Or actually, I made it intended for some big rappers out there. I don't know if you ever heard of Griselda.
Griselda?
But, yeah, new group from Buffalo. They're not actually new, but I mean they new on the scene.
Yeah.
But they have kept that New York aesthetic from the beginning.
Don't use me as a parameter or a meter who's out there in the rap and hip hop community, because I am not. Like
Oh yeah. Well then you can just, you know, you catch on after this, then you know.
Yeah. No, you tell me who I should be listening to. I'll go check them out for sure.
You got to listen to Griselda and Benny the Butcher. You know what I'm saying? Conway the Machine and West Side Gun. They are super talented artists, and they're making some good music, man. Like I said, and they keeping that New York aesthetic.
I definitely got to check them out.
They just got to keep going upward, man. But they in the game. I mean, they getting cosigns from everybody, you know, like Rihanna, Swiss Beats. Everybody is, you know, they doing their thing.
Nice.
I actually had the opportunity to rap alongside, well, not alongside, but in the same cipher as Benny the Butcher before he blew up. And he's a very genuine character, man. I don't know if you know who Jack Thriller is. He used to do interviews too for thisis50.com. He's a comedian as well. So he ended up opening up his own little, it's called 16 Bars or Better. And, you know, you basically get 16 bars to spit some dope shit. And if it's fire, you don't get followed online from it. Or if it's not, you're not. You know what I'm saying? But it was a good platform because he knew a lot of professionals.
16 in the clip and one in the hole. 16 in the clip and one in the hole.
Yo, what's up? This your boy Young Jack Thriller, a.k.a. Cock Out of Sailor, man, a.k.a. Debo 3000. Hey, it's going down in a major way. Yo, this 16 or better. Y'all better come with 16 or better. Pow!
And I bombed that day.
It's a 9:15 and my head hurt. To make it worse, passengers on the train were calling me an impatient jerk. A fiend OD'd in our car, and I don't give a fuck, cause right now I'm late for work. Random drug tests prevent from relaxing my eye muscles. So now I'm moving clean, piss as a side hustle. Exchanging food stamps for money with my eye, hoping my dice hand hot. I'm trying to come out with a nap and how it sit up in
But I bombed that day. Real, you know, it was my nerves that got to me because I didn't understand how production could be. You know what I'm saying? Like when I got there, it was one guy with two dudes in front of me. They messed up 3 times in a row on a freestyle. But you get like two months or 3 months to make sure that you remember your verse. So how do you come to the event and can't remember your verse? You know? So these dudes is fumbling on their verses and fucking up. And every time they messing up, Jack is, you know, they drinking on set and they playing the football music. You know that. You know the football music.
The little fumble.
Yeah. I can't do it no more. But anyways, whenever someone mess up, they would play that shit. They just made them look dumb as fuck. And then you know, then this dude from Brooklyn came. He was dressed all up, super. He played the part. He dressed the part. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he about to. You know, he probably was about it. But when he got on the microphone, he couldn't do shit. And Jack roasted the shit out of him, and he threatened him. You know what I'm saying? And Jack don't take, you know, a liking to that either. You know, we all from, you know, the streets a little bit. You know? So he checked that, dude left, and then after that, he had like a 30-minute rant where he was like, I don't want no fillers, no stories. I want raps, nigga. He like, this is the American Idol of rap. My ass then came in this motherfucker with a story and shit. I got a story. I'm thinking I'm about to show my personality, telling a funny story and shit. No, that was not what I should have done that day because I'm really bar inclined when it comes to writing, but I thought that some of my personality would have did it, but it didn't do it that day. But shout out to Benny the Butcher because he one of the only dudes that dapped me up at the end of the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? It was very cold after that after that set, man. So
but wait, so you had something prepared and the guy comes on stage and changes like the feel of the vibe and he says he doesn't want any of that, and then you've already kind of planned for it though.
Yeah, you already had planned to come in with a story, you know, but it was bars and metaphors within the story and stuff like that. But it just I guess the filler part of the verse was I had included my chorus into the verse. So after I spit my verse, I spit a chorus and then I went into verse 2. But the chorus kind of like slowed it down, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like repetitive. So, but yeah, definitely, man. Like I said, it was a turned up vibe after he snapped. You know what I'm saying? I was really shaky. I looked like a deer in the headlights in that video. All y'all got to do is type in Donta Black, DontaBlack, if you want to see how that turned out. But it was a good experience. I almost thought about going back on there, and I was like, man, I want to go redeem myself. And,
you should go. You know.
I definitely thought about it. I may, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I can really go in and bar some shit down. That's what I normally do. And I'm not even tripping because I'm about to drop this new content out and that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully people get the ideas. You know?
What was the first like beat or track that you sold?
Ooh, that's a good one. I remember it too. I sampled Lil Wayne from this song with Lloyd. I forgot the name. We were like, ha, 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 and she's fine. I don't know anything. You remember that?
I remember that one, yeah.
I sampled the right off the back, man, the boy got dollars, money come frequent like flight mileage. So I just sampled that vocal and just put it over a little cheesy little hip hop beat, and it just I put it up on the internet the next day too, and I went over to my girl's house, went on the internet, and made a quick $100. I'm like, damn, someone really spent $100 on this? Nice. I didn't mix it. I leveled it to what I thought it was. I didn't EQ. I didn't know about none of that at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was the drive. That was the motivation, you know, like that money. I was like, man, because, you know, being a high school student and working for KFC, it was, you know, the KFC, working with your peers wasn't bad, but working under like an old ass, you always got that 40-year-old person from the military working at a fast food restaurant and some shit. And they always want to be coming there strict and shit on some weird shit. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's always these older people trying to tell these young people how it should be.
Yeah.
Instead of letting them live,
you know,
they're like, you know, back in my day. I'm like, nobody. We're not back in your days. Yeah,
it's cool. I do believe in listening and stuff, but I don't feel like you should force it on anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's how you push people away.
Yeah. Like I'm 41, and
you good, man? You young, man. You young, man.
But like, you know, like I don't see myself like hating anything these young people are doing.
No.
You know? Like what I'm hating is some of the stuff that the old people are doing to the young people, you know, like giving them prizes just for participating and showing up, stuff like that. You know, we're not all really about that because, like, growing up, growing up, when I lost, I felt it. You know, like, damn, I you know, like
you felt the L's.
But it made me want to compete harder the next time, because I guess I was that kind of individual. Like, if I lose, I don't take it as I suck and this is it. This is me for the rest of my life. No, I take it like, oh, I see how far I got. Yeah. Still lost. Yeah. But how can I next time do better?
Word. It makes you think, unlike them, you know, you unlike that hidden instinct, you know, that power in you, dog. It
So
is
like
still dope.
I have this one story. It's like
Yeah,
I used to go to school in Harlem and junior high,
that's dope.
and and I used to go like it was on 136 in St. Nicholas. There's the building is still there. The building is still there. It used to be a junior high, IS 136, and the building is right there. It's right next to the C train.
Yeah.
But I believe the school is no longer there. Like the building is just there. But they used to have programs there where people from the YMCA would come, and one of the things was these karate teachers. They would come, and they would get us to run around and do exercise and stuff like that, and teach us some technique. And one day, I was really I was always into martial arts, and this was like one of my first tastes of martial arts. And they did like a summer camp. We took some classes, they taught us like some kicks and some punches and some stuff. And then one day they brought this huge trophy from the floor, up. Was like,
had the kid doing the kick on it in the air like that.
Yeah, like all of that, right? It was doing all of that. And I'm just looking at this. I was like, oh my God, look at that trophy. They only brought one trophy. And it was like an amazing looking trophy. And then they were like, today we're going to have a small point tournament. And we all the little boys were like, what? What's going on? We're going to fight? Oh, this is crazy. We're all like excited, and I was like, oh my God, I was shy. I've always been like shy and reserved. But then like, I was like, I want to do this. And like, I was really looking at that trophy and I was like, wow, this is an amazing trophy. Somebody's going to win this. They start the little tournament. I make it. I'm like beating people. Mostly because I was taller. I had the reach. It's not like I was a good martial artist or anything like that. I just had like more reach. And so I was like winning, and I made it to the end. And I was like, oh my God.
You made it to the championship?
In that little tournament. I was like, I might be able to take this home. And then I lose. And I get second place, but there's one trophy. There's no second place, nothing. It was a handshake.
Ooh.
This kid beat me by 1 point. And he took this huge trophy. And we were like 13, 14, between 13 and 15 at that age. I think it was like 13. And this thing looked huge to me. I was like, I almost left with that. You know how much harder I trained after that?
That's how that's dope. That's a dope story. That's real.
How much harder I trained after that. So like next time I was in another tournament, like I was more prepared and
But that's dope that y'all had something like that in high school where they just set that up like that.
Well, it was junior high. Yeah, but
junior high,
Yeah.
That was beastie, man. My mom would never let me join martial arts, and I wanted to be in it so bad, man. She thought I would get killed, but she let me get into football. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. So
that's worse.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Because you're actually gonna get hit.
Yeah, I wanted to do something, man. I just wanted to be a part of martial arts, man, because my dad, he raised me up on the Blood Sports. That's my favorite movie right there, Blood Sports.
Right, Blood Sport.
The Last Dragon, all them joints like that. And then I even get deeper into the, cult classics like Storm Riders and, Bruce Lee's movie, stuff like that.
Yeah. When I was growing up in the early 90s, on Saturdays, they used to have, I think it was a martial arts matinee thing where they had like 3 or 4 Chinese kung fu movies. And it would be like Saturdays or Sundays. And I would just sit there and watch these like ad-lib movies where their mouth was moving, but it's like the words coming out different. But they were doing those operatic like kung fu moves, and I was just like into it,
That shit, it's iconic, man. Hey, shout out to China for that, man, because they still hone it when it comes to making these martial art movies. I feel like, man,
They mastered it, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm saying this from a standpoint like, my wife is, Japanese, and we watch a lot of Japanese movies. They don't make as many, but they be good. But China got it down pat with the choreography. And all that.
Well, Japan, film-wise, they have creativity.
Yeah.
Like, they will make some random crazy movie.
They get deep.
Just to do it, Yeah. Like, you ever seen, I don't know the name, it escapes me, but there's like a superhero movie, but the superhero's, he wears a girl's panty in his face.
Remember, hentai is justice. それは私のゴールドボールだ。
Have you seen that one?
I'm gonna find it now, though. I'm gonna find it.
I forget the name, but like it's a live. I think it's from an anime or a manga. And they made the live action version.
Yeah.
And it's like this guy that he becomes this superhero, and he has like a girl's panty on his face. I was like, wait, they had made a movie where like that's the guy's thing. They do these craziest things out there.
Yeah. It's a lot of them out there, man. It's one called Time Taxi. It's pretty creative, man. It's about a dude. Basically, people hop into his cab, and maybe an unfortunate event that happened to somebody, like a dude just won the lottery, and then he'll part ways with his friend, and then he'll get into the cab, and right when he get in the cab, something like some people were doing construction, and something fell on his friend and killed him. So like, oh shit! So he'll get inside the taxi, and then dude like, you can reverse time in his taxi, and then he's like, what? What you mean? He like, look at the brochure on the back. So he'll look at the brochure, and depending on how much money you pay, he can take you further back in time to reverse the wrongs that may have happened or what you may have done. And they just do a lot of dope. They get creative, like you said.
Oh, I gotta check that out. That sounds dope. It's a movie or a show? Because that could be a show.
I'm gonna send you a link, man. It's one season, but it's real good, man. It's real good.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a cool show. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I gotta check out the panties on the head too, right now.
No, yeah. I always find like Asian cinema to be so much better than, because American cinema, unless you're really looking for it, most of what really floats up to the top that everybody gets aware of is just stuff that's kind of repeated.
Yeah, I'm getting worn out from American movies right now, because I feel like what happened, I feel like the creativity that lasted in the 90s and the 80s is kind of dying out, and people are relying more on graphics and basically reboots and stuff. Like, what happened to Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and was that Dan Aykroyd? You know what I'm saying? That was creativity right there. Or Richard Pryor with Gene Wilder.
Well, the thing is, these movies are they're being made, but they're not being advertised as strong as the ones that we're noticing, because thousands and probably millions of movies are made every year.
Yeah.
But you only
put me on game.
But but you only hear about maybe 20, right?
Yeah.
And those are the Marvel movies, some DC movies, some horror movies, and then maybe like a romantic comedy or two. And there'll be there'll be like 2 documentaries that everybody hears about, and that's like your 20 films for the year. But at the same time, there's like hundreds of thousands of movies being made throughout the whole world.
how would you say I would go out to finding the gems? I gotta find the gems, man. It's like they put their stuff up still on websites or
Yeah. You have, especially like Amazon. Amazon is pretty good for finding like very indie type movies.
yeah.
Because you're able to actually upload onto there easier than Netflix and Hulu. Yeah.
Shout out
So
to
like,
Amazon for that.
yeah. So like Amazon, you can find some very indie films there. But the other way to find it is to go to film festivals and just watch films, you know, because a lot of the films that eventually end up coming out or going to like Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that, they do a tour circuit of like all the festivals, maybe like 2 years, 3 years before. I can imagine it's just like the music industry. There's like rappers and musicians and beat makers and ghostwriters and all these people who are doing it right now, but nobody knows about them until they hook up with somebody big and that person co-signs them. And the next thing you know, these people get big. You know,
See,
it's the same thing with the film industry. People were making films, and you're only going to really know about these filmmakers is if you kind of go to the film festival that they submit to.
Word. That you know what? That's crazy. So basically, like, you know, my mind was one track, like how you said. Like, I'm just thinking about what's being put out there because of the most money to promote it. But it's a universe for everything that we are into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those might be the planets, but it's a lot of stars around there. You just gotta.
Oh yeah. Everything has another world expand in it that people are not aware of. You know, because even like in just filmmaking, just like music, there's different genres. So, and even in those genres, people are making many films. You know, so like I'm really big into the horror genre. So I try to keep an eye out and be more attentive to that. So like I
said you brave, man. I can't watch no horror movies, dog.
I grew up on them, so like it's something that I enjoy. I could tell you some good movies that you can watch on Netflix. And
you talking about horror movies?
Horror movies.
Hey, dog, I just stopped sleeping under the cover. You know, I went with a little air bubble together. For real. Hey, to about 18, dog, I used to be looking under that cover like, where is the demons at, dog? Like, for real, man. So, I mean, but I didn't finally came to a financial level in my life where I've been through so many hardships. So I'm like, man, fuck y'all. If y'all can't pay my bills, I ain't afraid of shit no more right now. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. But
I grew up watching horror movies.
As far as I'll go is Freddy Krueger Dream Warriors, bro.
Oh, I think that was Freddy 5. Freddy 5. I think that's.
I don't know.
The Dream Warrior ones.
Was that I think it was maybe 3 or 4, maybe though. I don't know. My brother put me on, but
let me check that real quick.
Check that. Tell me why the black dude, his power was to be strong, bro. His power was to be strong, and they gave him a construction outfit. I was mad, dog, but. And he had the little high pitched voice. Damn, man, hey, I'm enjoying this for real.
It was Freddy 3.
It was Freddy 3.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors.
1987.
Go back and watch that. What?
Oh, I've seen them all.
No,
I've seen them all.
The viewers got.
Oh yeah. They gotta watch them all. Freddy is. I can't even put him in a place because he's like he can be horrific, and then he could be funny as hell.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know, he's funny, he's weird, and then there's like the horror part. You know, like one of my first experience was Freddy Krueger. Was Freddy 2. My mom's date took us to the movies.
Oh, snap!
And for some reason, he felt like I think I was like. I don't remember what age I was, but I was between 6 and 8.
God damn!
And he was like, "Yeah, we could all watch this movie in the theater."
Bro.
And I'm like, I think I was like 7 or 8. I was horrified, especially when in Freddy 2 when you know, and I'm guessing like at this mindset, like now as an adult, like he was probably just trying to make out with my mom or whatever, and like thought I would just get distracted watching this movie.
Yeah.
Mind you, I am scared shit of what I'm watching, especially in Freddy 2. The scene that really got me, which is now when I watch it, I laugh. But it's the scene where one guy falls asleep, the other guy is in the room, they get locked in, and Freddy starts coming out of the guy who's asleep, and you see him moving through his body, and then the guy open his mouth, and you see Freddy's eye.
Oh shoot!
Like looking through the guy's mouth.
I don't remember this, dog.
And then he starts ripping his way out, and the other guy's like trying to get out, trying to open the door. He's freaking out. I'm like 7 years old watching this in the theater. I'm like freaking out.
That would have done it for me too, man. I actually got a similar experience, and that turned me away from horror movies after that. It was a Hellraiser, bro.
Oh my God. I remember when I first watched that one.
Yeah, I don't remember which one it was, if it was 1 or 2, but my dad borrowed it from his friend. I didn't know this at the time. I just put the VHS in because, you know, I used to be at home unattended and shit. So I put it in. Pinhead, the dude is on the ground. He crawling on the ground like, he in pain. Like he's crawling. And then Pinhead climbs out his back. And I don't know. It was like he came out of his body and killed him some type of way. I don't remember how it was, but all I know is I took that VHS, I took it outside and I slammed it and broke it in the street like, ow. And then my dad came home like, you see my boy's VHS? I'm like, nah. Shit, I didn't even. I thought it was my
wasn't
dad's.
even your dad's.
Yeah, he had to cough up that money, man. But that shit scared the shit out of me. That and it. When I seen they were behind the blankets and shit, and he waved to that little girl like, "Come here." You know what I'm saying?
The teeth is what got me. And it, the clown, the teeth.
Yeah.
Every time he showed the teeth, I was like, oh.
Yeah. So them two are the ones that really got me. Before that, I watched Poltergeist. I wasn't really freaked out. It was kind of creepy, but it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't freak me out like Hellraiser.
No, yeah, Poltergeist never really like tripped me up like that. But The Exorcist, that one.
I never seen that.
Oh, you never seen it?
Shout out to horror movies. My goal is to be able to watch them a little bit more and shit like that. I definitely got to smoke when I watch a horror movie, so I don't freak out as bad.
I think it should be the opposite. You should watch it sober.
You know,
because I think when I watch it when I'm high, I get more into it.
You get more.
I get more into the movie. I get more into the movie, and like things that usually won't scare me, like I'll be like, "Whoa, what was that?" Yo, I watched this one movie. You should check this movie out. Like, if you build up the courage. It's on Netflix still. It's called The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Okay.
And it is a fantastic.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah, well, it's a horror. It's a horror movie. It's kind of a ghost story / Some people say it's like a demon. Some people say it's a witch. But it's a great story, and the things that the people experience and the way the story unfolds, you're totally wrapped into it. You know, and there was this like when I was watching it, I had smoked up, and I was just chilling, and I'm alone. I live alone, you know, and
that plays a number already.
So I'm like the only one in the room, focused, watching it, getting into the story. I'm excited. I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen? I kid you not. It was like December. I think I was watching it. The windows closed. All my windows were closed. It was cold outside. It was winter. I'm over here. I'm like enthralled into the story. I'm just like into it, you know. Pretty high. I'm good. I'm like, and I'm alone. Tell me why my window shade just started moving out of nowhere, and at a very eerie moment in the film, especially where like they're trying to find something, and the music is also crescendoing up. Like, you know that, like that music where it's like it's getting creepier. It's getting creepier because they're about to like they're either about to go or something, you know. So I'm like getting into it, and like out of nowhere, my shade just goes.
Nah.
And I was like, what the? I had to pause it. And I go back, and I'm just like, the window's closed, so it couldn't have been the wind.
Hey, I do that too, you know.
My conclusion was that because my couch is like right on it, maybe when I like moved something and I left the shade above the couch.
Yeah.
And it probably like slid off at that moment. That's what I tell myself, so I can sleep here alone.
I'm telling you, that's what it be, man. That's really what it be. Like, I mean, I have my moments too when I be sitting and like you said, like something random will happen, and I'll be sitting in the living room tracking music or mixing music, and I'll hear something I'm like that wasn't part of the beat though, was it? Like, so I'll sit there like and listen to the beat loop like 5 times. I'm like, I didn't hear that shit in the beat. So I'll take my headphone off and I'll like snap some covers and do the last movements that I did to see if I triggered that noise from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, hey, my mind be playing tricks like that too, man. I don't play the games, man.
It's happened to me a couple times. Yeah. Now I just roll with it.
Yeah.
But I love watching horror movies. It's kind of like where my mind goes to when I'm like being creative. Because horror movie is you go through all the feelings.
Yeah.
If it's a good horror movie, you're gonna get scared. So that's you're gonna get scared. 2, there's always some sort of comedy because you can't be terrorized the whole time. So they have to like break it up. 3, there's action. There's always gonna be some sort of action. Like Jason just walking while the other person is like sprinting for their life and falling and collapsing everywhere, and Jason just like walking. He's like, I'll catch up.
Like with Michael Myers when he's like I shot him 11 times.
They're like superhuman. So you go through everything. There's comedy, there's action, there's romance sometimes, and then there's the eerie horror, effect of it. So if it's a good horror movie, you're gonna go for a ride, and that's why I feel like I enjoy horror movies the most, because you're gonna get everything.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch some more, man. You didn't got me. I might have to see, put my faith in one of them. That last one you told me about with the blinds movie. You might have to send me a link. I'm gonna try to watch that one. Oh, yeah. It's another movie you should check out too. That somebody put me on to. It was a movie with Adam Sandler. I think I might have put it up on Facebook a long time ago, and you had said that you checked it out.
I think
Uncut Gems.
Yeah, it's a great film.
That's a good ass movie, man.
Great film, especially on a man's perspective.
Yeah.
Like just being a man who has to just take care of business. And get shit done.
It's great.
But in his world of the jewelry world, how he has to do to stay on top.
Yeah, they kept it that good, man.
Oh yeah, I really like. I'm not gonna say I enjoyed it because I was like the whole time I was like, oh my god, but I really appreciated it. Like it was entertaining to see his struggle in that movie. Like you just wanted him to catch a break, even though he's not like the epitomal good guy.
Yeah,
like he's not like the greatest man ever, like good wise. He had his faults, but he was getting so many L's that you were like, please
let him win one time.
Like you were feeling his struggle, and you were like, God damn, like
hey, for real, I want to smoke and sit back and watch that again, man. God, under that influence, man, because it already had, like you said, anxious. It already had me anxious throughout watching it when I was like just chilling at dinner with the wife.
Yeah,
she didn't even get it. She was like, "What was that about?"
And you the whole time you're like, I know what this is about. Like,
you know what I'm saying? It was just different, cultural differences. You know what I'm saying? I guess, but
and just to retouch on some things, you said you went to school to study engineering.
yeah, I went to IAR, Institute of Audio Research in Manhattan, around 14th Street, Union Square, and University Street.
Okay.
But they actually just closed down. I would say, I think someone said they closed down about a year or two ago, but they were similar to SAE, another school. I don't know what SAE stands for, but most people that know audio, they know what SAE, what it is.
Okay.
And, it's like Full Sail, but to a smaller degree. Full Sail, you get a bachelor's or a master's with them, you know what I'm saying? But with SAE and IAR, it was like a 900-hour program, so it's basically like a 1-year program.
Certificate program?
Yeah, certificate program. And the whole purpose of it was, as soon as you get out of that shit, was to for them to help you get an internship right away wherever you could, be. And I interned at Rough Riders without their help. Gratefully, I had a friend, and his godfather was the head engineer at Rough Riders since they opened. So he used to let us come in and sit behind and just rock out with him, me and my bro Daryl, and we would intern over the summer.
So you were interning at Rough Riders?
Yeah. Around like 2008, 2009, when Murder Mook got signed over there, and they had Tony Sunshine, that song, that the 100% song with Big Pun.
I remember.
Yeah. Tony Sunshine, hey man, he's a funny guy. You know what I'm saying? he got a lot of character. I'll say that much. Yeah, it was just crazy at the time because they would come in there iced out with the Megatron chains on and shit like that.
No, back then it was a different time, man.
Yeah,
2008. Yeah,
we was out there just really like errand boys for real. When you first intern, you going and getting the coffee and the McDonald's for everybody, and just seeing how the business worked with the receptionists and all these things like that. And it was a good experience, and I'm glad I got to be a part of that. I wish I could have learned a little bit more, but
did you get to like sit in any of the music sessions?
Yeah, I got to sit in. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really get to get too hands on. It was very hood there. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, some of the times, we would get to do a review afterwards. Like the main engineer, he would do everything. He would just review with us some things, but we never really got hands on or ran any sessions by ourselves because it really didn't last that long. Maybe one whole summer I was there.
Okay. That sounds like either way, it sounds like a great intern.
It was good, man. And I'll never forget, that was a tough year for me, man, because I wanted to get in with Violator. But before I knew about how to make resumes, my dumb ass just wrote like a resume of like, I want to be a super producer and be the greatest. And I'm like, I look back now, like they read that shit like, man, we're not gonna bring this kid up in here. Like, you gotta be a team player and all this stuff like that. But I remember I had another friend, his auntie, from IAR, both of these gentlemen. She was like an executive at Sony. And my last day in New York, I just could not find a way to make any money, man. I didn't know how to find a job in New York back in the day when I was younger. And my mom. Okay, you hear me again? Yeah.
I can hear you now. Yeah, we cut off for a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, but
you're saying about your mom?
Yeah. My mom picked me up with her boyfriend at the time, and they driving me back home, and I'm just in the back seat. Like I'm sulking, I'm salty, and then I get a call on my phone. I'm like, hello. I'm like, hi, this is so and so from Sony Records. We just want to know if you wanted to intern here, and we got your resume. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. Like, I'm in the car going back to Ohio. I can't even be. I was hurt, man.
You turned it down?
Yeah, I mean, all my stuff was packed up in the car, driving it back to Ohio from New York.
Oh,
and
man.
I didn't have no money to pay for no rent or no shit like that.
Yeah.
And I think, like I stated in the first segment of the video, my cousin had me doing some outlandish shit just to stay inside his brownstone. You know what I'm saying? I had me hustling and shit, and he wasn't really trying to hold it down for me. I don't know if you know who K Slay is. The drama king.
The what?
K Slay, the drama king. He's a big DJ. I think he's from Brooklyn. but he brought Pat Poose out back in the day.
Okay.
And this was the great thing about New York, and just like, man, I was put in a good place, man. Like our neighbors when I lived in the Bronx were cousins of Grandmaster Jay.
Oh, nice.
Grandmaster, I say Jam Master Jay. I say Grandmaster Jay.
Jam Master Jay.
Yeah. So yeah, like, you know, I went in his basement. He got pictures all over memorabilias and all this shit, and it was just dope. Like, damn, to meet somebody connected to people like that. And then I remember he was like, "Hey, man, come." I had played some of my beats, and he was like, "Yo, come back around later tonight, or I'll give you a call." He's like, "Matter of fact, I'll have your cousin give you a call, but we're gonna have K Slay come out here. He coming to the village just to chill out with us, and I'll play some of your beats for him." And this is when I was in the Bronx, over in by Forest Projects around the Yankee Stadium area, Prospect 25 line. And
so you got to meet
I didn't get to meet him because my cousin was shiesty. He basically was like, well, from what I heard, like I said, my cousin just got out of prison from like 18-something years. So he over there like, "Oh yeah, man, F so and so, all this. You need a bodyguard." He trying to get a bodyguard gig and shit because he used to do his thing out in the street and definitely has a reputation. But I'm like, damn, you threw me under the bus. You could have shit. If I would have been there, you never know how 2 conversations would have worked with the man to make him like both. Or maybe.
So he didn't invite you.
Nah, he didn't even call
me.
I came back to the hood, and he already left. They was all drunk. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
So it's part of the game. You got people like that. It's cool.
It happens. Sometimes opportunities that you feel like would have been something great just doesn't like meet up, or you don't even get into the door because of silly things like that. But then you find other doors that open up, down the line.
That too. If it's one thing I could say, if anybody, when people do watch this and they go back and they can come back and keep listening to, is capitalize on the moment if you can. You know what I'm saying? Even if you having second thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to be like, you just got to just move and don't even think. Because maybe I felt like, dang, maybe I should have stayed up there in the neighborhood at least that day.
Here's a question, because I'm new to the world of music and beats.
Oh, yeah.
When somebody asks for your beats and stuff like that, because they're like looking to purchase one, what kind of precautions do you take to so they don't steal it?
Well, you can use a voice tag watermark. You can set it in a lower compressed quality or something like that. But I really would just send like a watermark with your voice over it, just saying like, my name is Donta Black. So throughout my beat, like maybe in like 30-second or 45-second intervals, I'll loop it in and just like Donta Black. You know what I'm saying? So they can't really loop any part of the beat. But honestly, if they really wanted to get down to the nitty, gritty of the thing, you know what I'm saying? There's some engineers or people that scout for beats or whatever you want to call them, A&Rs. If you send them beats, they got somebody that can play all that shit out. You know what I'm saying? They heard your shit and probably can play better than you and just remake your whole shit.
No, that's what I mean. Like, not just use the beat that you submitted, but like, I could imagine a lot of people can just hear it and kind of recreate it.
Yeah.
On their own.
Yeah.
And like, I wonder what kind of precautions do people in your industry have for stuff like that? Because I know a lot of people who can just listen to something and like automatically kind of be recreated. It's not easy, but they can. I could imagine with like music, sometimes you don't need something to be exactly the same. Yeah. For you to get an idea on how to improve it or make it your own, right? Yeah. But it's still on its core, it's your your idea, your creativity that led to his creativity. But now nobody will know that because he doesn't, they could just steal it because you submitted some beats and they could just like listen to it and then riff off of it and make something for their own. And I wonder what kind of stuff do you guys have in place for, besides sending people over with that could rough them up.
Oh yeah, I know. I just laugh real quick because my daughter, she just slid a note under the door like like it's a movie or some shit. But yeah, man. The only precautions I can really think of is if you're going to send beats like that, it's really a toss up, man. It's up to you if you want to, because if they hit you up like overnight, and let's say you don't have beats already pre-made that you was making in mind for this person, you might wake up the next day and be like, hey, can you make us like 6 beats? We just want to hear what you can make, and you make them 6 beats, and after you make them, that next day or the next 2 days, are you going to get them copywritten, even though they're not even finished in the structure that you made them in, and send it to them, or are you going to just send them right away because you want to execute? Because maybe they hit up maybe 10 other producers, or what I'm saying, and it's like first man eat. Like, it's a game they played back in my city called Baddest Man Hit That Hand, and I learned the hard way from that game. Somebody put their hand out, they say Baddest Man Hit That Hand, and whoever hit the hand first supposed to punch the other person in the wherever. Damn. And one time I got put in a situation like that. They said, Baddest Man Hit That Hand. And I'm like, what the fuck that mean? Dude hit the hand and punched me in the face like, boom. I'm like, oh shit, like what the fuck? So, do you want to get hit or do you want to make that hit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's up to you, so it's really, I would say, depending on the conversation you have with that person, what I'm saying, if you can feel like they're being genuine behind the text or word selection, what they're using, which is still not even that safe, but it's really to your discretion, man. That's all I can say, because I sent them beats without protecting them at all, you know what I'm saying?
But just on that note, like, what do you use to create the beats? What software?
Yeah, I use the DAW Reason, Propeller Head Reason. It's they were made out in Sweden. That's why I think it was, they made the program, but it's I would say the competitor to Fruity Loops. But honestly, there's so many DAWs out there, digital audio workstations. You got Logic, which is Apple based, GarageBand, which people that don't probably really mess with audio too much use because it's a cheaper program, you know what I'm saying? Then you got
I used it back in the day when it came out.
Yeah, you can get things done with it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Fruity Loops. So I would say the top 3 is Fruity Loops, Logic, and Reason. You know what I'm saying? And Ableton. So top 4.
Yeah. But do these programs, maybe this helps with the copyright issues, in the metadata that they provide for your file, does it have dates, like the dates these were created and stuff like that? Because maybe sometimes when it comes down to it, you could just provide this metadata, metadata, and show when you created it compared to when they say they created theirs.
If it ever worked like that, that would be perfect. I can't say, because you do get metadata, but I also learned, like, man, it's whoever has the most money is always gonna win. Because when it comes to lawyers, you know what I'm saying?
Well, when it comes down to that, yeah.
It's just, so I feel like they're gonna body you no matter what. It's like you're really at the mercy of them.
No, because at the end of the day, they're just trying to make money. So
yeah,
even if they do steal, sometimes what they do is once they make their money, they'll just settle with you.
They might settle with you, or they might just say, "Hey, you can take this credit." Like, I had a friend from Far Rockaway. He produced a few beats for Jim Jones and them back in the day, and sometimes they wouldn't pay him up front. They would just say, "Put your name on the credit," and sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. He would put his name on the credit. He would download the song and put it back on iTunes, and then, since he was partial owner of that song, he made a living off of just putting songs back up on iTunes, and they sold just like the original iTunes song.
Oh, that's dope. So he can upload it as his own creation.
Yeah. So he got.
And when people buy it, when people buy the song, they don't know who they're buying it directly from. So if there's 2 versions of the song, if they're buying it, they might buy his version, and that's how he makes his money.
Yeah. So he
that's not horrible.
It's not horrible, and I think he came to some agreements. Some of them was agreements that like this is just how it's gonna be done. But sometimes maybe he just had to figure it out himself and do that. But he eating good, man. He didn't, he own houses now. He doing his thing, man. He an older producer. You know what I'm saying? But we be all right. You good? You good? I'm gonna break it down. So I'm gonna go in here and take some of the weight off her shoulders and watch these kids and let her probably be done. All right, man. Let me move this other way. All right, yo. Well, it was a pleasure, man. We have to do this again, man.
All right, man. So thanks again. It's always great talking to you, and we'll definitely do it again.
All right, yo. Take care.
All right, man. Take care, man.
Bye.
And cut. That is a wrap. For those of you who made it to the end, I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be dropping episodes every Friday. You're not going to want to miss a single one. Also, videos are going to be dropping on YouTube. Links to the channel in the description. So, get out there and get doing. Remember this. Done is better than perfect. Nos vemos y adiós.